to start, and then I just cut all the stuff off. Sit down, please. Sit down. I need you to sit down. Oh God. All right. All right. Hey everyone. It's me, Tre'elle, and today I'm going to give you my final speech for my public speaking class, and it's my honor to speak about my Gullah Geechie heritage again. I'm just going to go and elaborate just a little bit more in detail what this heritage is about, and I want to open up with an African proverb because I feel like it just fits what I'm about to speak of, and it says, "It takes a village to raise a child." And in the Gullah Geechie culture back at home, literally your village is your neighborhood. It's where you're from. You can tell by the last name. We call it heiress property. For example, my last name or maiden name would be Watson. And that should already tell you I would be from Store Point in South Carolina or Seabrook. And pretty much you have my great-grandma who lives in this area, then my grandmother, and then her brother, and so on and so forth. So it's literally your family, which is your village, that helps you raise your child or even myself. So I just wanted to open up with that real quick. The Gullah Geechie culture is awesome. Like I said, it can be founded in South Carolina, in the Low Country region, from Charleston down to Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to give you just a little fun fact, right? In my research, in researching this culture, I found that, you know, the hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing? Yeah, it's like the national anthem for the African American community. Well, the author or the writer and the musician, their name were, James Weldon Johnson and John Roseland Johnson. This was the composer and the writer of this poem. And they went to go speak in front of Abraham Lincoln and give him this poem. And they're actually from Jacksonville, Florida, which is a part of the Gullah Geechie culture. So this famous hymn that we all know actually derived from the Geechie culture down in the Low Country region of the United States. So I just thought that was a little fun fact to include in that. So the culture arrived from, once again, the 17th and the 18th century when slavery was booming, when they were taking our people from Africa, from Sierra Leone and Angola, the coastline region of Africa, and forcing them and enslaving them to come here in the United States or the British colonies at the time. They were captured with all of their culture, and they were forced to come into an English culture, and they had to learn how to adapt. Now, in the port of Charleston, which was one of the largest ports during slave time, over 56% of the people, or the slaves that are here or were here, actually came from this port. So as you can see, this was a major port, and it definitely left a major culture that we call the Gullah Geechie culture. So out of these 56% of people, the crops that they grew were rice. Rice is the major number one crop, and then there was cotton, and then it was indigo. And this is what flourished in the southeast of the United States during slave time. So as the years go, and the years go by, this African tradition mixed with a little bit of the English culture has been passed down to many generations, to my generations and the many generations to come. The Geechie dialect is definitely a mixture of the African language and the English language. Some call it broken English, we call it Geechie. It sounds as if we're from another country, like we're speaking like as if we're Caribbean, but really it's just broken African dialect mixed with English. So it's something that I'm definitely proud of. If you're from out of town and you come and travel into this distant land, know that it may take you back just a little bit. There's actually islands like the Fusky Island. I actually went to go visit there. You have to take a ferry to get there. It's uninhabited. It's definitely old time. You have to take a golf cart, but everything left there is just all a part of history. You see the old rice mills. You still see the dirt roads. You see the Spanish moss on the trees, and it's just desolate. Like there's no communications. There's no cell phone towers. You don't even have cell phone service on this island, but it gives you a piece of what it was like to exist during that time, which is also lovely. Like I said, that's the Fusky Island. Let's see. family is like a forest. And when you're outside, it is dense. Like if you're on the outside looking in. But when you're inside, you see that each tree has its place. Each tree in the Gullah culture, the Gullah Geechie culture, has its place. As you look at the trees, you see the Spanish moss, and it tells so much in their age. You can see them crying, and I say this tears of joy for them being able to rejoice to see that we're able to come up in this community and still be able to get an education, something that they fought for, the slaves fought for. We're able to read, we're able to write, we're able to go to college, we're able to raise our family, we're able to raise them in the village that they have left behind. Their culture that they left behind, they're able to see that it's coming through us, the generations here, now, and the generations to come. We celebrate it by having heritage festivals and Gullah festivals every year where people from all over, even from Africa, up north, everyone just come together and dwell. We sing, we dance, we cook. The food is definitely authentic and really, really good. Like I said, shrimp and grits is a staple. Red rice is definitely a staple in gumbo. But like I said, I just wanted to give y'all just a little bit more insight on what the Gullah culture is.